The sound of it is just making me very nostalgic for an era that I didn't even live through. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly and in this video I am going to be reacting to Like Linus. This is a Deftones demo that came out before the release of their first album Adrenaline. And I've been getting a lot of comments and requests to react to Like Linus. I think it's going to be really interesting to hear Deftones before they had any albums out. I would imagine that their sound is going to be similar to how it was on Adrenaline, with probably a lot of that angsty aggression, in-your-face energy that they had on Adrenaline. It'll be interesting to go back to early Deftones and just hear what they sounded like. Alright, so we are starting off with track 1 on this demo, which is the title track, Like Linus. Definitely Adrenaline vibes going on. It's just got that same energy to it. This track almost has kind of a pop punk energy to it. This is a pretty solid track, considering it was like a demo before even their first album came out. And is it just gonna end here? Alright, so that was track 1, Like Linus. I liked that track. That was a nice little energetic one. But yeah, for one of their earlier tracks, definitely well done. I kind of like that whole pop punk sound that this track had. It's kind of interesting that their earlier work had influences of that. But yeah, I'm just gonna move on with this demo. We have track 2, which is called Some People. It sounds very staticky right at the beginning here. What? This is Deftones? Chino's vocals on this demo are kind of all over the place. I don't really know what genre he's given off with his voice. I'm hearing a lot of different stuff, and this is just the first 2 tracks so far. These vocals are so interesting. This honestly doesn't even sound like Chino. Okay, this sounds a little more Deftones-ish. Okay, so that was track 2, Some People. I don't know what genre that was. At certain times when Chino was kind of just talking almost more than singing, it kind of reminded me of, there's a Savage Garden song. I think it's called I Want You. I could be wrong, but there's a Savage Garden song. It reminded me so much of. It sounded very similar. Yeah, just very different. I kind of liked that track. Very, very interesting. Okay, and next up on this demo we have track 3, which is called Answers. Now we've got some reggae going on. Okay, it got significantly louder. We just completely changed genres here. Okay, we're back to the reggae. This demo is a really great example of how Deftones kind of started out playing around with their sound. Even back in '93, they had great instrumentals going on. I don't really know what I just listened to. That was track 3, Answers. I love, like I said, how on this demo, Deftones was just kind of playing around with a bunch of different genres. I will admit, with their later albums, they do a better job of making their crazy differential sounds more cohesive and work better as an album. This demo's kind of all over the place, but it makes it very entertaining to listen to say the least. But moving on, we have track 4, Hump. You can definitely tell how, like, bare bones the instrumentals are on this demo, but somehow with just those few instruments, they bring so much sound and energy still to their tracks. It's very impressive. In my room, we could dance on the walls. I love the guitar. I like how that one ended just with stop, and then it did stop. But that was track 4, Hump. Again, bring in the energy. That one just had more of a, I guess, rock sound to it. I didn't really pick up any of like the new metal sound that they have on some of their tracks or anything like that. It was more just kind of cut and dry rock, I guess, if I had to classify it as a genre. And I'm just going to move on to track 5, which is called Christmas. It would be really interesting if Deftones released an album currently that was more of this nu metal style. That would be really interesting to hear. So that was track 5, Christmas. I loved the delivery on that one. They kind of went more in that nu metal style. But yeah, I'm just loving so far the energy of this demo. They kind of just throw everything on it. And then up next is track 6, Plastic. Even though these songs are very different from their later albums, you can still hear some of the same influences and just the way that they style their music and create these ebbs and flows between energy and then quietness. They still do that. All right, that was track 6, Plastic. That one instrumentally was actually, it sounded pretty simplistic. It was like the same guitar progression over and over, but it brought so much energy. I really liked that one. And then track 7, we have Venison. That little laugh at the beginning. I just love the rawness on this demo. That was track 7, Venison. Again, it sounds like it could have been ripped straight off of Adrenaline, their first album. They're just bringing this great energy to this demo, and they're just throwing everything they've got into their sound. And then I'm just going to move on to track 8. We have Gift. Great bass right off the start. This one's definitely a little bit different, more mellow. Chino is definitely playing around with his vocals a lot on this demo. It sounds like he's just trying out different styles. Is that a flute? So that was track 8, Gift. Definitely a little bit more mellow, a little bit more of their less in-your-face intense tracks on this demo so far. And then track 9, it looks like is a B-side of the first track, Like Linus. So I'm really curious to hear what this one's gonna sound like. I'm trying to remember what the first version of this track sounded like. It almost sounds like they're layering the vocals on this one. I really do like this track. If they like re-recorded it and made it a little bit more polished up, I think it would be absolutely awesome. Oh, I just love that energy at the end there. But that was the B-side, or the second version of Like Linus, the title track. I think they just changed the vocal arrangement slightly. They added some extra vocals in there, like background vocals. And I'm just going to move right on to track 10, which is the B-side of Some People. I think maybe they've made the vocals louder. I think the vocals stand out more in comparison to the instrumentals. I thought it was going to end there for a second. So that was the B-side of the track Some People, but it almost just sounded like they changed up like the dynamics between the instrumentals and the vocals. They made the vocals a little bit louder. And I'm just going to move right on to track 11, which is Engine number 9. It's the first version of this track, and I'm really curious to hear this because I know some sort of version of Engine number 9 ended up on Adrenaline, their first album, so I'm curious to see how it sounds in comparison to that one. It sounds like the version on Adrenaline is a little bit more sped up. This version has like a hint of that reggae style to it. This wasn't on the Adrenaline version.
Given to us here.
Alright, so that was the first version of Engine number 9 on this demo. I might be slightly biased, maybe because I heard it first. I prefer the Adrenaline version. This one's a little bit slower tempo, and it, again, like I said, it kind of embraces just a little bit of that reggae sound, and I didn't really pick up on that at all on the Adrenaline version. They kind of take it in a slightly more aggressive nu metal route. Okay, and then track 12. I'm really curious to hear this one too, because this is Roots, and this is another one that made it on Adrenaline. I do love this track. This is one of my favorites off of Adrenaline. Although I just realized, isn't it called Root on Adrenaline, not Roots? So far it sounds exactly the same, only I think it's recorded better on Adrenaline. No, this is different. No, this is definitely very different. The instrumentals sound exactly the same, but the vocals, I think because I'm used to the Adrenaline version, the vocals to me on this version don't match the instrumentals. It sounds off. This is so weird to listen to. Oh boy, so that was track 12, Roots. And like I said, I think it's called Root on Adrenaline, not Roots plural. But that same track, for the most part, is on Adrenaline. They changed the vocalization on it though. The instrumentals sounded the same to me, but the vocals were very different. And then moving on to track 13, we have 7 Words. This is yet another one that made it on Adrenaline. So again, I'm curious to see if it sounds like the Adrenaline version or if it's different. It almost sounds like the vocals are kind of distorted on the demo version.
I think that your mind is wrong. I think you shouldn't have glorified. Now you run!
This is the same.
We shut up, you don't know we're squeal like a pig when you big toxic, big talking dead. Boss shots, let's go back, that's what's up, that's because I know you're and I think we're talking on this one.
I'm glad this one made it onto Adrenaline. I love this track. Just all the energy. It's awesome. Okay, there's a little bit of a different ending on this one. It's just a clip of a track in Spanish being played. So that was track 13, the demo version of 7 Words. That one sounded pretty similar to the Adrenaline version. The vocals have less of that like distortion. The vocals sound more intense and aggressive and natural on Adrenaline. And then moving on, we have the B-side version of Engine Number 9. So I don't know what this one's going to sound like. Okay, I think this one, they picked the tempo up a little bit. Yeah, the B version of Engine Number 9 definitely sounds more like the one that ended up on Adrenaline. I love this bass. So that was track 14, the B version of Engine Number 9 off of the demo. It's interesting though to listen to these 2 demo versions and see what sounds they decided to pull into their first album and what ones they kind of left behind. Like that kind of reggae style is nowhere to be found on Adrenaline at all. And then the final track on the Like Linus demo is track 15, Teething. Great start. I really like the instrumentals on this one. Just that heavy guitar. Interesting vocals. They sound a little bit distorted, maybe. Man, I love this guitar so much. It's just so raw and heavy sounding. Overall, this demo, the sound of it is just making me very nostalgic for an era that I didn't even live through. I kind of want more music like this. Just this unpolished, throw everything you got into an album. So that was track 15, Teething. That was the last song off of the Like Linus demo from Deftones. That one was pretty awesome. I could definitely see them having put that on Adrenaline, polished it up a little bit, and it would have fit right in with their Adrenaline album. That one was probably one of my favorites off of this whole demo, to be honest. So that is my reaction to Like Linus, the 1993 demo from the band Deftones. Very, very fun and enjoyable to go back and listen to their earlier stuff. It is crazy to me to see the evolution of this band and what they've done with their music over the course of nearly 30 years now. That's insane. Before I do my final reactions to Saturday Night Wrist and Diamond Eyes, I kind of just wanted to go back and revisit their really early music and give it a listen. Definitely stay tuned for more Deftones reactions here on my channel. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.